Everyone, thank you for coming up today. My old subscribers, thank you. And to those that are viewing for the first time or that have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Please do not forget to hit on the like button. A very big tragedy has just happened after a house was set on fire deliberately. An 11 years old boy was reportedly burned to death while his mother and two other siblings are in critical condition after his stepfather allegedly set ablaze a room where they were sleeping. This is what a human being would do to his fellow human being. And according to the owner of the house, the 45 years old suspect, whose name was only given as Agyemang, had been having misunderstanding for some time with his fiancée. He has been living with her in the Kwabre East Municipality in Ghana. And on Tuesday, that was yesterday, March 16, 2021, Mr. Agyemang allegedly sprinkled petrol in a room where his fiancée was sleeping with her children and then set it all ablaze. The landlord, who is Daniel, narrated this incident and said that he was able to save the fiancé and two other children, but couldn't do the same for the boy due to the intensity of the fire. And this was as a result of the fact that he heard the scream, that the landlord heard the screams and shouts around 12 a.m. And she repeatedly kept saying that she was dying. That's the woman, that's the fiancée of the house. She said Agyemang was killing her because he sprinkled petrol and set the room they were sleeping ablaze. So he woke and went to the room so as to know what was happening since he heard the woman screaming. And when he got there, he saw the fire spreading so much. You know, petrol, once you pour that, the rate at which the fire would come up, it will be so much that you can't even go in. So he had to open the room and brought the woman and two other children out. But he could not bring the other boy out due to the intensity of the fire was so much at the point where the little boy it was, which is so sad. And firefighters also called upon, they came over the incident of that fire to see how they can put out the fire, but they could not get the house due to the nature of the road. They couldn't get to the house on time. They actually came in when it was kind of late and the house had really burnt a lot. You can see that the rate at which this fire took off this particular building is so terrible. And the suspect, as her fiancé and the two children, are on admission at the Komfo Ayokone Teaching Hospital in Ghana. The child body of the 11 years old boy has been deposited at the Akansi Methodist Hospital. It's so sad. You can see that this house was completely burnt. It's so painful that some people would just go to any length to carry out an act like this. Why would he do this kind of a thing? It was a deliberate attempt. And funny enough, he's been living with this his fiancée in her home with her kids. And whatever grievances this man had is not enough reason for him to do something horrible in this manner. Look at this innocent boy. This little boy has just gone for nothing. And you can imagine that he would watch himself die because the intensity of the fire was so much at the point where this particular little boy was. But thanks be to God that the landlord was able to hear and save the mother and two of her children. But then he could not save the other little boy. May the little boy soul rest in perfect peace with the Lord. And I pray that the Almighty God will console his mom, his other siblings, and the entire family, friends, and every other person that knew this little boy. And it's as a result of misunderstanding. Why do some people result into horrible act of violence? People are bound to have arguments, in a relationship, even in marriages, people are bound to have arguments. You can't have a smooth marriage or a smooth relationship without argument. For one, it's not possible. Anyone who says they don't have arguments in their marriage or relationship is only lying. Everybody is a human being. You're bound to disagree at some point. You're bound to have some kind of arguments amongst yourselves. But then how you handle it, that is what matter a whole lot. What was it that they were arguing about that must have led this man to carry out a horrible act like this? That's why sometimes when you hear some people say they love somebody and you see acts that is being committed in this manner, you would ask yourself, what kind of love was that person professing from the onset? It doesn't look good at all, knowing that a little boy got burnt to ashes. You can see that this place is really damaged as a result of this fire outbreak. It's so sad that innocent children fall victims of things like this. It's really painful when you see that a child will just go as a result of the evil acts of an adult. This man was not even remorseful. He didn't even think, okay, let me even take for the sake of these children and not even carry out an act like this. But he didn't even care. He was never bothered. Whatever happened to them, all he wanted was for all of them to die. That was his plan. He wanted them all to die. That was why he set the fire ablaze at 12 a.m. when people are far asleep, and then people will not hear. Even the fiancée and her children will be far asleep. When he has sprinkled that petrol there and then set the house ablaze, he will just leave. It's really not nice that you would see people go through things like this. Innocent children. Look at this family. Now the mother will be mourning her little boy. Please, people should have a rethink, especially when kids are involved. Don't be in a hurry to pour out vengeance, pour out anger. This is anger. Because if they both had an argument, the woman is already gone to sleep, and you are thinking of what to do or how you can harm her. And you were not even thinking of the children. You just thought of all you wanted to do was for you to harm the entire family, irrespective of what would result at the end or what the outcome would be. You knew fully well that there were kids in this house. Why did you have to set the house ablaze? If not that this guy is so mean that he wanted to wipe the entire family away. Thanks be to God, if the landlord hadn't come on time, I'm sure the mom and her kids would have all gone. Please think twice before you act. Don't let this thing anger control you, or don't let vengeance. You see, there is another thing again, vengeance. When this thing vengeance has come into the heart of man, you'll be thinking, calculating a lot of things to do or how to retaliate. And once you have that kind of a retaliation spirit in you, then such people are ready to go to any length to ensure that they get someone to the point that would hurt them so bad. Why would you carry out an act of killing your fellow human being? You just wanted to sweep off everybody away from the surface of the earth, all for the sake of an argument you had. Guys, what do you all think about this particular guy acting in this manner and then taking the lives of these people? But unfortunately, it didn't work out for him as planned. Only one of the child, so sad that the child had to go. You can imagine that this child may have been in that pain, in that fire outbreak, crying and then screaming for help, but unfortunately no one would even be able to go in there to help him. And sometimes some of this fire outbreak, the people even die before the fire gets to them because they would inhale this toxic smoke, because a lot of property in the house, so all of these things combined together, burnt. They are made out of different things, different materials, and when they are all burnt into flame, The smoke alone, what will come out of that smoke, the thick smoke, once you inhale it, is enough to kill the person. So sometimes you find out that some of those people even die before the fire gets to them. Please, people should also be mindful of the kind of relationships they get into. Just like the previous video that I had posted, where the boyfriend of the same woman killed her 4 family members at a stretch, all for the sake of money. Some of these men that you date, they're after what they will gain from you. Some of these men that are very lazy, that are not ready to work, they just want to eat from the woman. All they do is wait for the woman to go work and come back home, so they would now get from her. But it still doesn't make any sense at all. All you need to do is watch and examine the person properly before you even get the person into your home. Some women are so much in a hurry, especially some women that have kids. You just want to have a boyfriend, or you want to have a man around you. You just go grab a man and then you keep him in your house. It's not even advisable that, especially single mothers, you just get a man and then you bring him down to your house and when you have kids and let him be staying with you. No, 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 that is not right at all. Study this man and ensure that he's someone that can stay with you and appreciate and love your kids. You know, if it's not someone that can love and appreciate you and your kids, then there is no point you keep that person around you. Let the person go as far as he or she can away from you and your kids. Because some of these men, they are so mean that they don't even value the lives of kids anymore. They will just they get kids and kill them like they're killing some kind of creatures, or they're killing an adult. And people killing human beings just don't mean anything to them. They will just get anybody and kill the person. Why do some people resort to killing as the only way out for them? Killing should not always be the only option for you. Please, there are ways of settling issues without taking the lives of anybody. There are ways of calming situations down to ensure that everybody is at peace. Some of these men, they are not out to date you, or they are not out to keep you and your kids as a family. They are just out to have a gain from you, what they can gain, what they can achieve from you, because they may see that the woman is desperate and she needs a man who would be there for her and her children. And so they will take advantage of your vulnerability and decide that they want to just grab things from you. And the very day you don't give to them, oh, you're in trouble. Some men, that is what they do. They will just ensure that they keep getting from these women. Give me, give me, give me, because they know that you love them so much and you're ready to go to any length to keep them with you. So long as you brought the man into your house, he's living with you and your children. Then the day you don't give the man what he is demanding for, especially money, then be sure, rest assured that that woman would either go to bed with beatings all over her body, or she may be faced with the act of death upon herself or upon her children. Some of these people don't leave anybody at all. They would ensure that they kill the woman or they kill her children so as to get back at her. Why are you struggling for something that doesn't belong to you? You are itching and eager for a woman to go out there, work and bring for you. And the day she doesn't do that, she now turns out to be your enemy. And you now want to go to any length to ensure that you bring her down. Please, women, it's another thing that you need to do. Check properly. It's not easy when you have kids and you're all by yourself. It can be a very difficult situation, and then you may need someone who will be there for you to maybe assist you with other things. But not picking up just anybody, or not just dating anyhow man, or anybody that is lazy, that is not ready to work, or any demanding man, all because you want to please this man and make him happy so he will stay with you. You don't do that or gamble with your life and your children's life, because once you are ready to give anything to this man whenever he asks, and you've shown him that you're so desperate and you want someone to be around you and he is the best person for you, then you should be ready to face consequences, because such kind of people At the end of the day, once they don't get what they want from you, they will result into acts of violence, even on your children. That's why they say it's advisable, once you're a single mother and you begin a relationship, the relationship should be away from the home. You don't bring them into the home. A lot of people have had terrible encounters where their stepdad or their mom's boyfriend ended up killing their own children or having to do horrible things with their children in the house. Please be very, very careful. In as much as you want a companion, do not be in a hurry to bring him into your house and let him have access to your house. Once they have access to your house, it's very easy for them to carry out any horrible acts they plan to carry out once you people are together. It's a real eye opener for a lot of women. Please, some men are not just worth it. For you to take a lazy man, keep in your house, no, no, no. Or for you to take a man who is always demanding from you, and the day you don't give, he'll beat you. Some women are going through that at the moment. Somebody they claim they are dating, if he demands for something from them and the woman doesn't give it to them, they should know that they will receive the beatings of their lives. He will so beat that woman to the point that she will be forced to tell him, please, I will get what you are requesting for. You don't pet a man or treat him like he's such a baby. That man should be the one who will go out there, work and come and give you, not you working. And you will come back, and the day you don't give him, you become his punching bag, or your children will end up suffering for it. It's better you are just with yourself and your kids alone. You're watching after them and ensuring that you make ends meet, than involving another new man into their lives whom you are not even sure of whom this man is, or you invite a man who is just after his own selfish interest, and at the end he will now start treating you and your kids in a very horrible manner, or he may go into very serious act of violence upon you and your children. Please think of it. The sake and the life of your children are very, very important. Even your own life too is important. Friends, please, what do you think about this particular incident that has just happened? Please, if you have anything to say, you can put that down at the comment section. Please don't forget to hit on the like button, also the notification bell, so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Friends, I'm here today to talk about how to start up a new YouTube channel. So for those that are looking to start up a new YouTube channel, probably you've been trying to figure out how to go about it, or you have been trying to see what it entails or what you need to start. That's why I'm here today, to give you the easy way for you to get this done. Not just the easy, but the best method, and also to give you or to talk about the best teacher who will give you all that is required for you to start up your own YouTube channel. This is a teacher. He is really successful with his YouTube, and he has been a teacher for so long now. Teacher is Matt Pa. He's going to give you a step-by-step method on how to start up your own YouTube channel. No stone unturned. Every step of the way, he's going to lead you through it. You have links that you can actually reach out to him and communicate with him directly. That's Matt Pa there. You can see the huge successes he has made in YouTube. You can see his silver, you can see the gold, you can also see his revenue that he's actually making on YouTube, which is very huge. He is going to give you a YouTube step-by-step tube mastery class, every step of the way, from the beginning of the opening of the channel to how you can start up and put up your videos. He is leaving no stone unturned, like I said. So for those that are seeking for how to start up their own YouTube channel, this is the easiest and the fastest way for you to have access to this particular teacher who is honest and straightforward, and you will enjoy every bit of the class and you will have lots of gain. At the end of your class, you will have lots to hold on to and to start up your own YouTube channel. It's going to be like an ABC class starting from the scratch. So please, for those of you that are interested in starting up your own YouTube channel, Matpa, he is the teacher and you will have direct access to him. I'm dropping the link below. So please, you just click on that link and you will have access to Matpa's class. He is going to give you the whole content of YouTube and all that it takes for you to be successful in YouTube and how to start YouTube from the scratch. Like I said, and I'm going to repeat, he's leaving no stone unturned. And it's so interesting that if you have any kind of complaint, no matter the time you have this complaint or you are confused about anything, you can communicate directly to him and he will give you a response as soon as he gets your question or as soon as he gets your mail or anything you're trying to confirm from him. He is quick at responding and he will give you the right answers. And even if you go elsewhere to search, you find out that what he is saying is actually true. He wouldn't mislead you. So please, for those of you that want to start your own YouTube channel from the scratch and see how you can be successful on YouTube, please go to this link, click on the link below so you'll have access to the teacher. That's the teacher there you can see and see his success. You can go through that and then you click on the link so that you can have direct access to Matpa himself. This teacher, you will enjoy and enjoy every bit of the classes that he's going to give to you. So friends, do not forget to click the link below so you have access to Matpa's Tube Mastery class, and he will give you the best teaching for YouTube you would really need to start your own channel. Friends, thank you for coming up today. Please, for those that have not subscribed, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Thank you once again, and God bless you all.